What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my MMA Corner number 27 video, sponsored by Revolt Renegade clothing. Make sure you check out their clothing. Like I always say, these guys just do a great job with, not only MMA, but BMX, extreme sports, great apparel, great things that they do. Make sure to check out their website. Their link's up over in the description side. Some good topics this time around. I've got a couple of them that I'm going to go over on this video segment. The first one was from Natron212. In my opinion, what's the best course of action for GSP to take for his career from here on out? Who could he handle at middleweight? Really, I think that one more fight that he's going to get, hopefully this is how it's going to go down, but we'll see what they do, will more than likely be the winner of Swick-Campman. I don't see either one of those guys giving GSP, in my opinion, any problems, serious problems, to where, I see George St. Pierre running into serious issues. But, anything can happen. It's MMA. George St. Pierre against middleweights, I think against some of the top-tier guys like Rich Franklin, if he was still down at that weight, guys like Okami, I think he runs into problems with those guys. Anderson Silva's another one, where, that talk of that fight comes up. And honestly, I think it's the worst fight in the world, stylistically, for George St. Pierre to take. I don't think that's a good fight for him, in my opinion. He's the king of the welterweight division. He's probably going to be one of the best welterweight champions, if not one of the most dominant welterweight champions of all time. Right up there with Matt Hughes. But, honestly, I really don't. I don't see, what he's going to do at middleweight, other than taking out a couple of the lower to mid-level guys, and then running into problems with the top-tier guys, like I said, Okami, Franklin if he was still there, Anderson Silva, and even some of the submission guys at that division. Rusmar Paharis could probably give him problems. Demian Maia could probably give him problems, and Nate Marquardt would definitely give him problems, and even Dan Henderson. So I don't think that the middleweight division is where George St. Pierre should be at. He's a natural welterweight, as far as that's his weight class. He cuts down to that weight class. He's big at that weight class. He's going to run into guys that are equal to, if not just as big as him. And even with Nate Marquardt, they would never fight because they're both training partners. So that fight would never go down to begin with. But anyways, hopefully I answered your question to the best of my ability. Thanks for the topic. Let's go up to the next one from Chris Kroll. And the topic was about judo. We see judo being real big among Asian fighters and Asian promotions. But when it comes to America, the UFC, we don't see judo as a huge fighting style. The only big names, that he listed here, like Karo Parisian, trying to think real quick off the top of my head, DHK, Dong-Hyun Kim. Why don't more fighters use it? You don't see judo used so much in American mixed martial arts. You primarily see it, with the Japanese judokas. They primarily use that. Guys like Akiyama, guys like Dong-Hyun Kim, Parisian comes from, the middle part of Eurasia, where Europe and Asia meet. You're starting to see some more people, though, get involved with judo that aren't just, from that region of the world. And judo is starting to, make a transition more into MMA. It's just like karate, and like with Lyoto Machida. Karate wasn't an effective style, and now has turned into an effective style by the way that he's transitioned it into MMA. Judo's the same way. Judo by itself is not completely effective unless it's transitioned, with other elements of mixed martial arts. So I think, in the States, you're starting to see more of, judo used. It may not be that someone is a judo black belt, but you see certain positions used, like judo sweeps, the judo tosses, the hip tosses. Those are all judo techniques that are transitioned into MMA, and you see guys use them. So, I think the reason we don't see guys with, if this was where you were coming from, guys with belts, like a black belt, like DHK or Karo Parisian, is because it's not a strong martial art that is presented here in the States. Primarily you see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, wrestling. You know, those are the biggest ones that you see in the States. So thanks for the topic, though. This was a very good one. Volkert314, who does great MMA videos here on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. Said, I don't remember if this has been brought up yet, but who do you think deserves the next shot at Brock Lesnar's UFC heavyweight title? Nogueira, Randy, or Carwin Cain, meaning Minotaur Nogueira, Randy Couture, or Shane Carwin, Cain Velasquez. Apparently, it seems that Dana's gone back on his promise about the winner of Carwin and Velasquez will get the shot. It sounds like Nogueira and Randy are going to get the shot. Personally, I think that the winner of Carwin Cain, as far as Shane Carwin and Cain Velasquez, should be getting that title shot. But it's not going to go down that way. They're going to put on the more marketable fight because they can market Nogueira or Randy. Carwin and Velasquez still, you know, they need some more exposure to where the UFC can market them. And that's probably how it's going to go down. You're probably going to see Nogueira or Randy get the title shot, and Carwin and Velasquez will be the next in line of whoever wins between Nogueira or Randy, the winner of that, against Brock Lesnar. So, thanks for the topic, man. Let's see what the next one is real quick. Right here from Helldog 6. Do you think that a WWE fan should be treated badly simply because they're WWE fans? Like me, I'm a former WWE wrestling fan, and I feel I'm very educated on MMA. What do you think? No. And let me say something about this. You know, wrestling, you know, is a entertainment aspect. You know, it can be defined as, because wrestling is a sport. You know, can you define WWE as a sport? I really think that can be left up to interpretation, and that's really not something I want to get into. But you know, anyone that transitions into MMA, if you're willing to learn about the sport, you know, and you love the sport, you try to understand it, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being a casual fan. If you want to be a casual fan, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I've said this before. My only issue with the way that some of these casual fans treat, you know, people, or the way that they act, sometimes get out of control, and even some of the diehard fans dogging casual fans, which is why they don't try to learn more about mixed martial arts, because of the way that they're treated. But no, I don't think that they should be treated badly. I watched wrestling when I was younger. The Rock, Stone Cold, you know, that was the Attitude Era for wrestling. That was, you know, the big time when I was younger, which is what everybody watched. I know for a fact I went to a couple you know, events here in Orlando for WWE when I was younger. So, you know, I think everyone has transitioned from different aspects to come into mixed martial arts, whether it be wrestling, baseball, hockey. It doesn't matter whether you're a hockey fan, a baseball fan, a wrestling fan. If you love the sport of MMA, it doesn't matter. You still love the sport of MMA, and that's how I look at it. So, these were all good questions for this edition of the MMA Corner. You know, like I always say, you know, leave me some topics, some suggestions, things you want me to talk about, to do these videos for you guys to connect to you and answer your questions. Real quick, if I did not get to your topic on this video, do not be discouraged. It's just because I did not have enough time to fit it in. I will get to it on the next MMA Corner. Make sure that you leave, like I said, topic suggestions for the next one. Check out my sponsors on the description side. And on that note, you guys have a great day.